Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast.
That sounded like a question. Podcast?
We're your hosts. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta. You weren't like, I'm Ron Burgundy?
Maybe. I don't know.
How are you, Brandon?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. How are you, kitty cat, who's being vocal right now?
You can't hear the kitty.
Yes, you can. As the person who edits it, yes, you can.
You can't hear this kitty. It's fine. She's just being helpful.
Very helpful. You're good?
I said I'm fine.
Okay, what are you drinking?
A drink. I am drinking cranberry neutral.
Me
which is,
too.
I don't know. It's kind of an in-between drink, so that's fine.
In between?
In between winter and spring.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what the weather's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's March in Canada, so, it changes depending on the day. And how have you been this week?
Still
fine? Any
still
nerd
fine.
things, though?
Not really.
No?
No.
You don't have a nerd thing this week?
Not really.
Oh.
Just working.
Yeah.
It was the trade deadline, but I talked about that last week.
You talked about how you were excited for it.
Well, lots of stuff. There was lots of trades.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, hockey.
Your team just lost, so.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. They do that.
But it was a very exciting trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most exciting ones in years.
Well, yeah, except I was working, so I didn't get to really appreciate it.
But we watched the review afterwards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also drinking a cranberry neutral.
Mm-hmm. It's an in-between drink.
It's an in-between drink.
Between winter and spring.
Yeah. I don't really have a nerd thing either. I thought maybe you would have a nerd thing. But I just, it's March, I'm Disney bounding. And, I'm not right now. Now I'm in pajamas because we're recording it. But, yeah. But I have been Disney bounding.
Yeah, not today at all.
No.
Fail.
I did read a new book today.
Oh, there
Started
you go.
and finished. Canadian Boyfriend. Yes.
The boyfriend who lives in Canada.
Yes. I talked about how it was a blind date with a book that they did for Valentine's Day. So I picked it up today and I read it. And I just finished it. It was good. We have a new Marvel show to talk about, though.
We do.
Okay. Spoiler-free gut reaction to Daredevil Born Again, the first 2 episodes. Brandon, what did you think?
It was Daredevil-y.
It was. Daredevil-y in what way?
Well,
spoiler-free.
Not the Ben Affleck
way.
I don't know. It felt like mostly like season 4 of the Daredevil series that we all watched.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
was beside myself with the opening credits.
You were. You kind of lost your mind a little bit. I didn't, but
I don't know why not. That's so cool that they did that. It's like a reiteration, but like in a different way, of the Netflix one. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I thought it was really cool that they did that, but never mind, I guess.
I was expecting that they should. Anyway, that's fine. No, I think it's good. We'll see how the season goes. Mm-hmm. Reserve judgment.
Fair enough, but strong start. Then again, we did have a fairly strong start. We were optimistic with Secret Invasion, too. So
we were, yes. Sort of. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it turns out better than that.
Well, surely it can't be any worse. Sorry, why would I say that? Daredevil is automatically better, though. Let's head to the news.
News!
Disney A News Update. Okay, Brandon.
That's me.
It is you.
I'm not the news.
No, you aren't.
No.
But some stuff has started reopening at Disneyland. The railway is back open. The monorail is back open.
Oh, things are just on track now.
I get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of... Oh, this is a bad segue. Speaking of tracks, they are putting they started releasing more about Monsters Unchained at Epic Universe, which I know is not Disney, but it was a Segui track. It's on a roller coaster track.
Terrible.
Fair enough.
Okay, and what did they release?
The first look at a ride through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I bet there was monsters.
And I bet they were unchained.
It would be weird if they were chained.
That's true. It would be like a totally false advertising, really.
Yeah.
Other news, Food and Wine is going on. There have been some reviews about the stuff. We're going to talk more about Food and Wine next week. They also released the menu for the Star Wars stuff for Season of the Force and all the items. And I want the popcorn buckets and such.
They have some pretty cool popcorn buckets and sippers and things going on. I want the Death Star one.
It looks so good. Honestly, it's so good. During the Oscars, which was last week, congratulations to all the winners and all those for who it was an honor just to be nominated, especially to Anora that won
most of the things,
yes. During that, we also got our first, most of our first Snow White ad spots.
Yeah, they were advertising the heck out of that.
Yeah.
It smacks of desperation to me. But
well, and they had them, some of the leads, presenting together and things like that.
Yeah, they had, I don't even, what's her name? Gal Gadot and the lady playing Snow White, who was in
Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, Zegler. There you go. Weiss is a completely different
totally different person.
Yeah, they presented together.
Yeah, they did. And then it took me like a good 30 seconds to be like, why are they presenting together? Because there's always a reason, right? And then I was like, all right, Snow White.
Like, the Oscars, there's a lot of money involved. And the thing you have to realize is it was... the Oscars were broadcast by ABC, which is a Disney channel.
Yes.
Not the Disney Channel, but a Disney channel.
Disney channel. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what's going on there.
Yeah. Any upsets from the Oscars or anything like that? The only one that was really for me was Best Actress.
Yes. They're going to add that to a post-credit scene in The Substance. Because it fits.
It does. That suit really well. That was the only one I had a problem with. I know there was a couple minor
I didn't
surprises.
Even have a super problem.
I had a problem with it.
I didn't have a super problem with it. I was just a little disappointed because. Yeah. Anyway, that's fine.
Yep. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. There is some news about, speaking of before we were talking about
Star Wars
Season of the Force.
Yeah.
And the Mandalorian and Grogu mission overlay is going to be coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in 2026.
Yeah. After season, like 2 seasons of the Force from now, because it's going to be at the end of May, which is after Season of the Force.
Yeah.
It must take them a lot of work to reprogram.
But...
I mean, there's got to be like animations and all that. It's a little bit more than what you would have to do for a new scene in Star Tours.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Star Tours has a set path. You just have to film one thing. Whereas with Smuggler's Run, you're basically building a video game level, and there's more involved with that. So
for sure. I mean, I get that. And the other thing to remember, when they opened Star Tours, they were going to have that. Originally, I'm talking about. They always said that they were going to change it up. It took them years to actually do that, too. They were like, why?
a long time, yeah.
So.
It's just funny that they have decided to do that and then announce it.
Over a year in advance.
Yeah,
that is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe there were rumblings about it, and then they wanted to assure people that, yes, it's coming, but don't be disappointed about it not being there this year.
Right.
I think that might be it.
Or next year.
Yeah. Speaking about things coming this year, though, they have confirmed there will be a Fantastic Four meet and greet coming to Disneyland this summer.
I'm not surprised. I want to see how they do the thing.
I know.
Like,
we'll have to watch some
Are
coverage.
they going to even try?
I think so. They just said Fantastic Four, so...
Yeah, well,
There's 4, yeah.
He's one of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. I don't know how you do. Well, I mean, you can have the human-looking ones just in their suits and they don't do anything. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to have Johnny Storm up by the Quinjet.
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
Kind of thing,
yeah,
but that's probably too much to ask for.
Yeah, they're probably gonna focus.
A meet and greet, whatever. But
it would still be cool, like Moon Knight used to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have them replace the stunt show where it's like the Fantastic Four doing
which
stuff.
They're pulling back on anyway.
Well, yes, but they could. You could change that up and have it be the Fantastic Four doing something up there. Right.
Other news, speaking about Avengers Campus, is Robert Downey Jr. joined Kevin Feige and Bruce Vaughan on stage at SXSW 2025.
South by Southwest.
Yes.
For people who can't spell.
Right. To talk a little bit or more to like hint, I guess, a little bit more about the Stark Flight Lab, that attraction.
The new one of the new rides.
Yeah.
The what would that be? The D ticket edition?
I don't know if it's a D. Well,
it's
no,
not an
it
E.
probably
it's
is.
Not an E. It's
That's
probably a D.
about right. Probably D ticket.
It's C, it's C or I
might be C.
I would put it on the same level as the Spider-Man one.
That's probably a D ticket. I'd say
they'll probably have 2 C plus tickets and then 2 E tickets in Avengers Campus once they're all said and done.
Yeah, that's. I'd say it's at least going to start as a D ticket. Yeah. Sometimes things age as they age, they shift. Yeah.
Well, look at California Screamin' / Incredicoaster. Right. That was definitely an E ticket when it opened.
That's now like a C ticket.
Nah, it's a D.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. But yeah. Apparently this was kind of cool. They had him there, and then they said that he was quoted as saying that it was like working with Disney Imagineering was like the living embodiment of the Stark Enterprises mission statement. Like he embraced the whole thing anyway.
And then he said something about being doomed. I don't know.
Doomed, I say, doomed. But yeah, so that was kind of cool because really they had nothing like. They had announced this, but then like there wasn't a whole bunch about it. So basically, they're just trying to get people excited for it. Downey, who will reprise his role as Tony Stark for both of the new Avengers Campus attractions, joked about staying on longer for even more. And I guess he said, even after we finish with the Flight Lab, I want to stay on with you all for the long haul. This isn't a one-time deal. You probably need more me. Doomed, I say.
Very in character for both Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark.
Exactly, it works.
And Dr. Doom, actually.
Yeah, so anyway, I thought that whole situation was like very Tony Stark. Anyway, I liked that they were doing that. I thought it was entertaining to me. Disney has decided not to host a red carpet premiere of Snow White. Apparently it was originally going to be in London, and it's now been canceled.
Yeah, that's why I say this smacks of desperation. This movie has had nothing but bad press.
Yeah.
And the live action remakes of Disney have been mediocre at best.
Yeah, that's true. And this is not promising to be a great one.
No. So...
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's, like I said, there was all the information about Season of the Force and all of that kind of stuff. Some of the merch was teased. And other than that, it's just more information coming out about the 70th anniversary celebration. There's some pretty exciting stuff. The World of Color nighttime show is getting a new pre-show. You know how they had one for Lunar New Year? They're getting one for the 70th featuring the Muppets. Which I thought was pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was just my little thing that needs to be added. The other one that people were all
Disneyland Resort needs more. Well, any Muppets.
Any Muppets.
They got rid of the Muppets a long time ago.
I know.
There, and they, I don't know.
Bring them back. Especially, I mean, I understand Muppet Vision is being lost in Disney World, but they're still getting an attraction for the Muppets.
Yeah, they're moving them. But they're moving them to the Rock and Roller Coaster. So,
but we don't have anything in Disneyland. So
0.
Yeah, we have a couple Easter eggs from when Muppet Vision used to be. Also, people were really excited because there's a new cavalcade coming, and part of the cavalcade is going to have Duffy, who never shows up in Disneyland. It's not really a thing over here.
Yeah, why?
I don't really know. I think it's more just a nod to the other things.
I saw that news as well, and
I don't understand why either.
It's supposed to be the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, no?
Yeah.
What does Duffy have to do with that?
I think
that's
just
really weird.
Yeah, I think just the idea that like this is where it expanded to, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know.
I for one do not care for it.
No.
I think Duffy is dumb.
I think they should really
fight me, Duffy. I could probably take Duffy.
You probably could.
Tough.
He's very fluffy, actually.
Now you're just making me feel bad.
He's very fluffy and cute. No, I think that's why.
I'm just not a fan of Duffy.
I'm more of a fan of like big anniversaries. Like I was there for the 50th, which was really cool. But I think big anniversaries.
That was 20 years ago.
Oh,
that's how math works.
Yes, it's true. And so here's a fun little aside for you. 20 years ago, I bought 50th anniversary ears, and at the time, very few people wore ears in the parks.
That's true. Yeah.
Ears, so I was a ear hipster.
Ears have always been a thing, but it was like mostly like the weird hat ones for kids, and
that you would get embroidered with the name.
Yeah, and they weren't like super duper common, but they were like kids would wear them, and then someone at Disney got the bright idea to market it to Disney adults.
Yeah,
and now,
that was a smart life choice.
Now you have people spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on an ear collection, so whatever.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Who would do that?
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't buy any ears this last trip. Okay. Yeah, and that would normally be a good place to segue into that, but mostly I just wanted to finish my thought by saying I think for 70th anniversary and things like that, I think it's cooler to like look at the classic stuff as opposed to like stuff around the world.
Well,
Small World we talked about is getting a new verse.
Yeah.
But they're also adding Coco characters into it. And I don't really have a problem with that because first of all, there's a scene which very clearly looks like it should have more characters in it.
Well, they have Disney characters in all.
Yeah.
In
so
a
I
lot
don't
of
mind like
the world
updating some of the classic stuff. I'm not like anti having Duffy there. I'm just like it seems out of place to me.
I'm not I am anti Duffy, but
you're weird though.
I think he's dumb. But like it wouldn't hurt my heart or anything to have a cavalcade with Duffy, but like to have it for the 70th makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I get
weird.
that.
It's weird.
I get that. Totally get that.
But you want a really good segue.
Yes, I'm ready.
You're talking about ears and classic.
Yes.
You forgot the big news that we heard. Jon Favreau is developing a Disney Plus series for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Yes.
The most classic ears of all.
I am so excited though.
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
No, I'm excited because I want to see what the heck he does with it. It might be like grotesque interest or curiosity.
I'm extremely intrigued. Let's say.
I'm excited because
I don't know. Like what do you?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Where do you go with that?
I don't know. We should keep watching that show. What was it on the
History Channel?
Yeah. Okay. And it was like, was it by the same people that were like the board games that made or the toys that made America and all those things? Felt a little bit like it, but not quite.
No, it was like There is a series. It's not the toys that made us, but it was like it's like the brands that built America and stuff like that. And then there's a specific series on how Disney changed America. Basically.
Yeah, that was very cool. We kind of like stopped at one point, but I would actually like to go back and finish that.
They have like dramatic recreations of important history. Disney history.
A lot of the story about how Disney lost and then regained the rights to many years later to Oswald is interesting. And a lot of people like know it already if you're like a Disney nerd. But they do like you said, a dramatic recreation of that. So I would recommend.
Yeah, the first couple episodes were pretty interesting.
Anything to add for news?
No, that was the big one. Oswald.
Oh, you sent me an image and information about a ride I might not be able to ride.
Oh,
in
that's
Disney
right.
World.
Yes. Well, so you're talking about the like expansion at Avengers Campus and stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, Disney World is also getting like several big projects going on. Yes. Like they have billions of dollars going into Disney parks over the next few years. And one of them is the reason that there's not going to be Muppets anymore, which we also talked about. They're building a Monsters Inc. land, and as part of that, they're building a roller coaster which you'll ride the door.
Which
hanger
honestly seems so obvious to me. Like, it's perfect, of course.
But the news came out today that it's going to be a vertical launch coaster?
I don't know, Brandon.
Vertical lift hill?
I don't know.
I'm
so scared.
Something vertical.
Yeah.
And
basically, you go up to start.
that I'm a thrill ride. Big coasters are amazing to me, and this is actually very promising to me because it makes me think that Disney is starting to look across the street at Universal.
Yeah.
And Universal has some pretty big thrill rides, but also doing the theming, and Disney's like, oh, maybe there is a market for that. We can have maybe not like your mega coaster, but like something that is not just for kids.
Well, look at Tower of Terror or Guardians.
Kids can still go on Tower of Terror. Like that would be a B- thrill for me.
Oh my God, no, that's insane to me. But okay.
No, but like you look at what's available, right?
Yeah.
There's several notches above.
You are a thrill ride person. Yes.
I am, but there's several notches above what a Tower of Terror gives you
in terms of thrill.
And maybe Disney's like, oh, there can be a market where we can have something that kids can't go on.
So I kind of feel like Universal right now, especially when we're looking at Epic Universe, is like, we've been doing the thrill thing. Now let's add in some more theming. Like, let's marry them that way. Whereas I think Disney is like, we've been doing the theming. Now let's add in more thrill. And I mean, I get that they did some thrill originally back before the crazy roller coasters existed, like Matterhorn.
Matterhorn
right?
was the original.
Yeah.
Like they invented. They used to push the envelope on thrill. Yeah. It was the original steel roller coaster, and they lost sight of that side of it. So it's not. It's not anti-Disney to push a little bit of thrill, I guess.
No. It's going back to roots, if nothing else. Mm-hmm. I am concerned because I always said that I will try to ride everything once at Disney, and this looks really scary. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'll watch it. And I'm going to try. I'm going to watch ride-throughs and stuff as they build it and everything like that.
I'll buy you a yellow snow cone.
It's lemon.
It's lemon.
I do love the idea of the theming, though, because, like, that scene would make a perfect roller coaster. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's got a long way to go before we go there.
More thrills for me, please.
Speaking of thrills and theming and things like that, we're going to talk about we're going to head over to our main topic. At the park. A few weeks ago, we were in Disneyland.
Yeah, not that long ago.
No.
My feet still hurt.
No, they do not.
A little bit.
You do not have feet PTSD.
I do. I very much do.
Don't. So it's normally when we do like a trip recap, it's right after we come back, so there's like lots of stuff.
And it's more fresh.
And it's been a few weeks now.
I forget everything.
You do not. Your feet don't anyway. Apparently.
No, my feet never forget.
So so I thought we'd just kind of like talk in general. Some of the standouts and things like that. We stayed somewhere different this time.
We did, yeah.
And that meant using a different entrance and everything. In previous trips, we've stayed where we used the downtown Disney entrance.
Yeah, we have typically stayed on Catella, which is south of the parks, kind of butts up against California Adventure, and then you walk up the Disneyland Way.
Yeah.
Disney Way or whatever. Yep. Through staff parking, and then you enter at the downtown Disneyland Hotel side and get in that way. We were north of Disneyland, kind of butting up against Toontown, and Tomorrowland, and came down harbor and came in the main entrance, which was different. I don't know.
What did you think? Did anything strike you about the difference between entering on either of those sides?
The harbor entrance is a lot busier, and the difference between showing up at 6:45 and 6:55 is immense.
Add an extra half hour, probably.
Yeah,
if not more.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah, security is a big bottleneck for that harbor entrance.
Yeah.
And so you got to be kind of on top of your morning routine.
Yes.
I'm
Not dawdling.
I'm getting too old for that.
What if you had a preference just for which entrance, which morning walk? What did you prefer?
I think I liked the Catella. Like, I think we were like maybe slightly closer this time, but there was a hill as well.
Also, that's true.
So that makes it a little bit less enjoyable, and of course the walk is nicer through Disney Way, and downtown Disney is nicer.
Yeah.
So that's fine, but I think the main entrance is probably better if you're at like a closer hotel and you are an early bird.
Yeah.
You get through that security and then you're right at the main gates, and so you can get right up to the ticket windows right away.
Right. It's more important to be really on it.
Yeah, you have to show up early.
Yeah. I agree. The walk the other way was nicer. I like the entrance unless you're even 5 minutes slower than intended. But because the important thing is they used to stagger security. They don't do that anymore. Yeah, they say they do, but they definitely do not.
They do not. Security opens at 7 p.m. on the nose. Everywhere.
Or 7 a.m. Yeah.
7 a.m. on the nose. Everywhere.
They used to do, and we would notice 7 a.m. and then like 5 after and then 10 after.
Yeah, like, because coming from our downtown Disney Way, the Catella Way, we would go through the security, and then you'd see the first people coming out of the Grand Californian security as you're walking through downtown Disney, and then you'd start seeing people coming from the main way when you were about to get there. So everyone would kind of have the same kind of chance. And now, if you're not at that harbor entrance, you're
early.
You're not. You're not going to be the first ones in line at the main entrance.
I really like walking through downtown Disney. Also, the monorail was down, but I do like, we have done before where we like, if we're not staying till like riding at midnight kind of thing where we jump on the monorail and ride partway. I like having that option to cut out a few steps. But of course, most of the time we're staying till the very end anyway. So that only, was a random thing. But yeah, I do like that main entrance, and all of a sudden you're at the gates.
Well, and the fact that we weren't walking through downtown Disney anyway, we didn't get to see any of the new downtown Disney stuff.
Yeah, or the decorations or whatever. Yeah.
We didn't take a detour to go see the new D-Lander store or the new Avengers store or anything like that.
Which I like.
Or World of Disney even.
Yeah, because it I don't know, it amps me up for Disneyland or whatever. Not that I need much amping up for Disney, to be fair.
It was different.
Yeah, it was different. Which I was excited to do something. I was like, it's interesting going this way. Okay, so we had a few advanced dining reservations. I just thought we could talk a little bit about some of the food and stuff we ate.
Yeah, what did we eat?
Okay, so we did revisit the Magic Key Terrace because this was our last trip under our Magic Keys.
And so we'll never see it again.
I wouldn't say never, but, if we ever do again, it won't be for a very long time.
We'll never see it
probably
again.
Never. But
that's okay.
But I was glad we got to go back.
Yeah, it's pretty nice up there. I think the first time was a little better. We were right on looking over the balcony.
Yes.
Our table was fine this time, but whatever.
We weren't right up on the balcony this time.
We ended up getting actually the same main course again.
It's true.
It's not a huge menu.
No.
The drinks are good.
Yes.
And the food that we got the fried chicken, but it's not fried chicken. It's fried Cornish game hen.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really good.
Really good.
Really good. So that was, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we were very much into, having a couple drinks and sharing the food and things like that.
And they had special magic key pins.
That's true.
When we checked into the restaurant.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That is true. That was fun. I like that. And now we have magic key.
I guess I shouldn't say pins. They were buttons.
Buttons. And now we have, they're kind of like that I'm celebrating
pin.
The
same style as the I'm celebrating or like happy birthday buttons.
Exactly.
But they were specific magic key ones.
Yes.
And
so cool. I was glad to have those because, this was our last trip on our magic keys.
I put them on my crossbody bag, and then some magic key holders asked us where we got them.
That's true. I remember that. Okay, so other food things. We did go to Carthay. We were in the lounge.
Never been to Carthay before.
No. Well, and that's why we booked it. We were like, where haven't we been before that we're always like, oh, sometime we'll go there. Mm-hmm. And Carthay was where we booked for that. And
it was the lounge.
Yes.
And it was like, because Carthay's actually pretty big, which I didn't know. Mm-hmm. They have like the whole bottom floor is the lounge, and then they have the the patio is part of the lounge, I believe, as well. And then you go upstairs, and that's the actual Carthay Circle restaurant. Mm-hmm.
And can I just shout out the Carthay bathrooms, by the way?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, it's very classic.
Yeah.
Very classic 1920s decor, and they have a lot of classic Disney pictures on the wall.
Well, okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, Carthay, like the restaurant, the lounge, and everything, is named after where Snow White premiered.
Yes.
So there's a lot of like old Hollywood, and actually these old when Disney first showed up in Hollywood and things like that.
So it was really cool. And then, the bathrooms that are shared between the lounge and the restaurant are quite fantastic.
They
should have won our Oscar for best bathroom.
Okay, no, I was totally seguing to that. So when I was looking up last week is what I was about to say, and I was looking up lists for what other people had said. Carthay bathrooms were on almost all the lists.
They are gorgeous.
But we were just doing Disneyland, not DCA.
You also have to be in the restaurant to go to them. So
yes,
it's kind of cheating, but they're gorgeous.
They are. Also, in case you were wondering, Lamplight was on that list.
Yeah, Lamplight's pretty good, too.
But that's more the hallway leading to them. But yes, and we had a couple nice drinks, and then we shared some appies. But that was really good.
The drinks there were pretty darn good.
Oh, so good. So good. And they felt very... We ordered like quite vintagey ones.
Yeah, too. Like they had a lot more. Like, it's actually tough to find a gin based drink in Disneyland. But they had several
because 1920s.
Because of the 20s,
and 30s. Snow White came out in the 30s, but like that era of.
I love gin, so I was very happy about it.
Then the other advanced dining reservation we had was for character breakfast. We went to Minnie and Friends at Plaza Inn,
which was actually really good.
It was so good. Were you happy with the food?
I was. The food was.
Was it better than you expected? For like breakfast buffet kind of thing?
I would like it wasn't as good as Storyteller's Christmas buffet.
Oh, well, I mean, to be fair.
Which isn't fair to compare. No. But I liked it better than Goofy's Kitchen.
I get that. I think each one has like a different role. I really liked it, and it's so funny because the characters are so random.
Yeah, they were quite random. You had a couple of the female mice from Cinderella. Yeah. You had Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
Yeah.
And Minnie, of course.
And Pluto was there. Yeah.
And it's just random.
It's just random.
Random characters, and I don't know.
Yeah.
No face characters. Just all like
the
animal mascot type people, and I don't know. It was fun.
I really liked it. Like I had been before with when I was younger with my parents and everything, and it was better than I remembered even.
And they do a very good job. They come, like, I don't know if it was because of like COVID and stuff still. When we went to Goofy's Kitchen, they kind of just danced around and like maybe briefly stop by your table for a quick picture. They did a lot more interaction at this one. So I think...
Well, I went back to Goofy's Kitchen with my mom and sister, and there was more interaction. I honestly think there was probably even more at Plaza. But there's 2 caveats to that. We had the very last seating that they did. And we were 2 Disney adults who were very into, like, filming and, like... Yeah, we'll get up and dance with...
exactly.
Who taught you how to do proper fist bumping?
Oh, right. Pluto was very disappointed. He had to train me. He wanted to do basically like a whole secret handshake thing.
And you didn't do it right the first time.
I didn't do it right, I know.
But then he came back again to make sure you had learned.
Yeah.
So, no, that was really good. And then as I was leaving, Tigger had just gone by when we were seated. And then so I was like, oh, man, we missed Tigger. And then he came back around, and I think he was the last one left just as we were leaving. So then I just asked if I could go have a picture. And no, he we did a whole dance and everything.
It was
bouncing
great.
Around
it
was
and
so
stuff.
good. Yeah. So that was really good. We booked the last one that they did because we wanted to get some good rope drop. So first of all,
and it might be tougher with like kids and stuff. But if that would be my recommendation, because
I agree.
You can get motivated and go do rope drop and get like several rides in, and then go have breakfast.
Yeah, and we were there
when it's like starting to get busy. Like our seating time was 10:30.
Yeah,
that's when you start not having walk-on rides, basically. And then you can go fuel up and then go enjoy the park some more.
I think it worked really well. And then after that, we went and we park hopped right after. So if you've park hoppers, then that's a good way to do it too. We were one of the last ones to go through. There was obviously other people who were seating at the same time as us, and the people in front of us were another Disney adult couple with sans children, and they were having a grand old time too. So like when I'm on like those like forums and things like that, a lot of people want to know that, or they'll say like, I want to do character breakfast, but I'm by myself, or I want to do we don't have kids and stuff. Is it gonna be weird? No. The characters are definitely not weird, and not like the cat. No, it's fine. They totally tailor your interactions. It's really good. They just the same way that they would tailor it differently for a baby than like a 12-year-old. They do it differently than a teenager to an adult or whatever. And they really play off of you.
Yeah. It's as much as or as little as you want. You just want pictures with them. That's fine. But they'll do a little dance with you or whatever.
And
it's fun.
The same thing.
I think it's fun.
Mom and sister and I went to Goofy's Kitchen, and the same thing. They played around and stuff like that with us, which is great. But yes, I really, really actually recommend. We had never done it before because we always had breakfast at our hotel,
right? Or
almost always had breakfast at our hotel. But I actually really recommend that. This is a good way to do.
Well, and it's a big buffet. It's not super cheap. But you get a lot of food, and food in Disneyland is expensive. So you can do that, and that can be your meal for the day, and then you have like a corn dog for a late snack or something, and that would be fine.
We did snacks and stuff after that, and that was basically it. The other thing is time is worth a lot, and if you're someone who wants to meet a lot of characters, this is a good way to do it.
Yeah, and like. Where else are you going to see the Cinderella mice?
I know, and they were great.
They were
cute. Super fun.
They were cute.
They were really good at interacting and everything. And there's always kids lined up with their autograph books and everything, but they were all really good.
Well, and they go from table to table, so you don't feel like you're taking time away from the children.
I know, which is one thing that I always feel a little weird about. Yeah. So that was really good and highly recommend. And then the other thing is, I didn't realize this when we booked. I had a Magic Key discount that applied here. I didn't think this would apply, but it did.
Yeah.
So it was actually, as far as food in that much food in Disneyland goes, fairly good deal.
Oh, I think I got my money's worth.
Yeah, you did.
I
think I got my money's worth too, let alone you. You went up more than twice.
I ate a lot of mini waffles. They weren't Mickey waffles.
They were mini waffles. They had bows.
They had bows.
Yeah.
And the French toast was really, really good too.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mickey or mini shaped, but it was really tasty. French toast
was really good. Yeah.
And then they had like outstanding potatoes and biscuits and gravy.
That made me happy. I'm a biscuits and gravy fan, and that's something you don't really do around here. So
yeah, that's a very much an American thing. More in the South, but they've kind of adopted it.
Of course,
it's throughout the country,
tourist
and
thing.
biscuits and gravy is really good.
Yeah. So anyway, it was really good, and we met a lot of characters, and it made me really happy. The other food thing I want to talk about is it was Lunar New Year.
Yes.
Okay. So we got there, and we did some of the booths. So one thing I want to say, first of all, is we did get a Sip and Savor pass when we arrived, and we used it. We used it quite well, I think. Then after, Sunday was the last day, and we had this breakfast that day, and then we hopped right away, and I saw they were still selling Sip and Savers, and we're like, okay, but we're full, so like we're not going to do that right now. Let's see if we want one later.
Yeah.
And then we went to go get them, and they had stopped selling them because it was the last day.
And it was sold out or whatever.
Yeah, and they just said, no, we stopped selling them because they can't guarantee foods and stuff, and I totally get that, but just like if you're going to one of these festivals and you're intending to go on the last day, just do be aware of that.
Yeah, just buy the pass.
Yeah, they were honoring everything as long as there was food.
Yeah.
And we would have just, if they ran out of one food item, we just would have gotten a different one. Right. So we just didn't.
Whatever.
It was fine because we had gotten everything we really wanted the time before. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we were only there a few hours, but we made use of that Sip and Savor pass.
Yeah, we go. I don't know. What did you think of the Lunar New Year foods?
So, this was now we've officially been at all the food festivals.
Yes.
I've always wanted to do Lunar New Year. I always thought that was the one I wouldn't get to do, at least not for a long time while I'm working. Just
timing wise, specific days. Tough, yeah.
Clearly, we were there on the last day. It was good. I even said, though, when we were going through the menu, some of the stuff was good, but in years past when you've looked at the menu, I thought it was maybe better.
I was very excited for the noodle cart.
Yeah.
If you listen to our Lunar New Year episode.
And what did you think?
It was fine.
Yeah. I thought it was fine. It was like, I mean, garlic butter noodles is not going to be bad.
They were good.
But it wasn't
they
like...
weren't great.
I like weird, crazy stuff.
The pho bun was probably my favorite.
Which is funny because that was the one you all were like not too sure
Well,
on.
we had seen some pretty mixed reviews about it.
Yeah, but the one you had was really good.
I thought it was outstanding.
I really liked the burrito egg roll.
Yeah, that was also really, really good.
So what happened when we bought our Sip and Savor pass? We asked her for her recommendations. And that was a really smart life choice.
And
Talk to the cast members.
She was very honest. Like she wasn't towing the company line or anything. She was like, actually, I thought the food this year was kind of mid.
Yeah,
was her quote, and and that's
I
good.
Agree. Yeah,
I think they should be allowed to say stuff like that.
Yeah, she said it was overall fairly mid, but tried this, and this is the clear winner, and we're like, all right.
And she was bang on.
Totally. So we purchased the Sip and Savor, and then we went straight to the cart, which had one of her recommendations, which was on my list. Again, we had seen mixed reviews, but she said the burrito egg roll was like the best.
Yeah, and it was
totally.
It probably that and the pho bun. What I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
The biggest disappointment was probably the bao.
I can see that. Yeah.
The fake meat one.
Yeah.
That didn't taste great.
The Kung Pao chicken bao.
Yeah. If that had been real chicken, it probably would have been 10 times better.
I liked it better than you, but it still was not my favorite. Yeah. And the fake chicken thing in a bao would bother me less than you, but I just was like, you have to be really strong on your flavors if you're doing that. Yes. And I thought it was kind of missing some of that.
The flavors were mediocre.
Plus,
and I think that real chicken would have made better flavor. No, it's true.
But let's also be totally honest. We were there during Pixar Fest, and it had amazing bao during that.
That's why I was mad. The Pixar Fest bao was unreal.
Yeah.
And the two baos, like fake meat aside, were not even close to that.
No, I agree. We also had some really good cocktails that were actually part of the Lunar New Year, and I thought those were more standout.
The drinks were good.
Yeah, they were all really good. Alcoholic and non-alcoholic. I had like a matcha kind of based one too, and that one was really good.
You had the matcha horchata.
Yeah, that one was really good.
You really liked that.
I really liked that. But then we also had like a guava cocktail, and you had the cucumber margarita.
It was like a cucumber jalapeno margarita, and it was at Flo's Diner. Actually.
Okay.
But it was part of the season.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So, the drinks and stuff, I thought they did really well. I will say one thing. Drinks at Disney are really, really expensive.
They are,
but at
super
least
duper expensive.
They do not skimp on the alcohol.
No. You see a lot of happy, tired adults walking around Disney, like California Adventure.
It's true.
With their cups, and they know that they've spent too much on this cup, but it's making them happy, so it doesn't matter.
They taste... Every cocktail I've had tastes either good or excellent, and there's always a fair bit of alcohol in them. We had like a couple cocktails from the carts, and you were like, and now you're gonna have the non-alcoholic one.
Yeah, you were getting a little
giggly,
a little loopy.
And then we went on Guardians, and I was like,
well, and here's the thing: you get a nice little boozy beverage, and you go in a long line.
Man, it makes that long line a lot easier.
You just have a chat, and sip your drink, and by the time you're done, you're almost at the front.
Yep, that is one of my favorite things to do, actually.
It's a good time.
It is a really good time. One of my favorite things about having gone so much this last year was I have a lot of like little favorite things. There's favorite attractions and favorite foods and stuff like that. But one of my favorite things to do is get a drink from Pim's, and then get in the line at Guardians.
Yes.
And it's a good time.
I will say that typically works a little better when they're running all three towers.
That's true. We lucked out a couple times, but other times were a little rough. But anyway, it's it was a different elevator that was down than previous as well. So it's a good thing it's down now for maintenance. So it's probably a good thing.
Yeah. That ride, like the ops of that ride is really, really good when all three towers are working.
Yeah.
As soon as you lose a tower, it becomes a little bit tough.
Yeah, it's true. And the other thing with Guardians is it was on B mode in the prep rooms. In the briefing rooms. Yeah, both of them. Which, to be fair, is a good B mode, but I mean, come on, it's not the same.
Well, yeah, the rocket animatronic wasn't working in either of the briefing rooms. I'd only seen the B mode once before.
I was with you. Yeah, same.
And I didn't remember it really well. It actually gives you more information about how he broke out.
Yeah, it's true.
than the A mode, I guess, whatever. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, I was glad we got to see it. I just was like, too bad we also didn't get to see the other one, kind of thing. But speaking of attractions down and not down, I love the railroad, so I was kind of sad we didn't get to ride that one. And Small World, of course. But Rise of the Resistance, we rode once. Every single thing was working.
Every single thing. There was zero B modes.
Including the cannons, which we weren't sure if they would still be working when we got to them.
I wasn't holding my breath.
No, me neither. It was like, let's see. Let's just see. Any other thing about the attractions or anything like that stood out to you? Our most ridden ride this time was Guardians, by the way.
Wow.
And then Pirates.
It was quite lined up too. So we made that work with boozy drinks, I guess.
It's true. And Big Thunder was also very high on the list. I can't remember if that was actually, that might have been second. I might be misspeaking, and Pirates was third. We also got to ride Original Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, with the new bride.
What did you think of the new bride?
Her face is weird.
It didn't bother me as much as you, but it is kind of out of place with the rest of her because the rest of her looks so cool.
If you just like put a bag on her head, and the rest of her, she's a butterface. She is.
Wow. But like her dress is so ethereal and
it
really
looks
cool
amazing.
effect.
It looks like kind of like the special effects you see in Ghostbusters almost.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's better than the Pepper's Ghost illusion.
You know what it reminded me of? You know Muppets Christmas Carol? The really creepy Ghost of Christmas Past, and she's all like flowy and really creepy.
That's Ghostbusters
but her face
style.
Is like
her face
porcelain
is
and
weird.
Messed up.
But that fits that more.
Yeah.
This was just like, I don't know, just doesn't look right.
Yeah, so it was really cool riding the original again. It was the first time in having our magic bands where it actually like matched the leaving the thump thump the bride's heart, because normally it's Christmas time.
They changed that a little bit too, actually.
I noticed that. Yeah, so they did some little tweaks here and there. But anyway, it was really cool riding it again. Okay, any other attractions?
I'll just say, for the most part, attractions were operating.
That's true.
The whole time.
Actually,
There
if they were down, they weren't down like the whole day.
I think the worst one was probably Matterhorn.
Yeah. We tried to do the mountain challenge one last time.
Yeah, and Matterhorn just
did not work.
Was not working, and then the one our last morning, Tiana's was down.
I know,
for a long
which was
time.
too bad. Yeah, we were gonna ride it one more time, but yeah. Tiana was having troubles on the attraction.
Yeah, the Tiana animatronic. Well, both of the main ones.
Yeah.
Like the one that's going up the first lift hill.
Right.
When we went on it the first time, she wasn't moving at all. And then the one in the finale scene didn't move the entire time.
And then when we went on again, the one heading up the hill was working, but the one at the finale still wasn't. I've seen on Instagram now, I don't know if it's a temporary thing, but like yesterday she was working. So
that's good.
Yeah, I'm like, it was too bad we didn't get to ride one more time, but that's okay. We did try to do the Winnie the Pooh rope drop first thing in the morning.
That's true. That is true. So we normally go for e-ticket type rides for rope drop, but
we're actually quite good at rope drop. Your long legs play a huge factor in that.
Well, first of all, we never run.
Never.
So there's that. So
that's a point of pride, actually.
It is, and you know what? It's the rules. Like,
it is.
Play by the rules. The cast members are just there to do their job.
Yeah, don't make them yell at you for no reason.
And they don't like yelling at you, and they don't want anybody hurt.
Exactly.
Which is the thing, right?
Exactly.
But we did hear about the thing where if you rope drop Winnie the Pooh, you get to sign the book. And so we decided, I like Winnie the Pooh, and I don't know, it was our last morning at Disney, and we decided to try that. And we were the second group.
There was a couple who they sprinted right past us, and I was really hoping when they passed us, I was like, keep going, go like down the path to go to like Rise.
Yeah. They
did not. They made it to Winnie the Pooh, and they were signing the book when we showed up.
Yeah.
Which was a little disappointing, but I was very happy. I was like, you know what? We got here second, and we did not run. So I was happy with that. And we rode Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So then we were gonna jump on Tiana's, but it was closed, so which was fine. We only had a couple hours, so we like hit some things, and it was good. Most things were running. We heard some people say Space had been kind of temperamental.
Space did go up and down a couple times, but it was still better than a lot of the times we've been there.
Yeah.
There wasn't major down.
Do you know what surprised me? Did you see Indiana Jones down at all while we were there?
Hardly ever.
Maybe like an hour or something?
Yeah, no. Indiana Jones was operating pretty good, and they're bringing that for another decently length refurbishment here soon. So, I don't know.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, my one of my souvenirs that we got super fancy Indiana Jones pins.
It was the 30th anniversary.
Exactly.
Because that came out they opened that ride in 1995.
Which is bizarre to me. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pins are gorgeous.
They're so cool. Well, one of them was a Magic Key exclusive one, so I like that.
That convinced you to get it.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
And then we got the other one.
And then we got the other one. The other one was really cool too.
Needed a friend, so
we got to get another guy. Yeah, I agree. The attractions were really good. It was really busy.
Oh, it was
busier than I expected.
It was President's Day long weekend, which is Family Day long weekend for us. So it was a double holiday.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was crazy busy.
Yeah. The other thing I kind of want to talk about, we went to Knott's the one day.
We did.
Yeah.
It was Peanuts celebration.
Yeah. We went to Peanuts celebration. We also got like the food package kind of thing. What did you think just about Knott's being there then?
Knott's was also quite busy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We went because my key was blocked out, which I didn't know when we booked this whole thing. But whatever.
Yeah. So you said in hindsight you would have gotten the higher tier key with me.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of hindsight though. Like you can't do that. This way we got to spend the day at Knott's.
Hindsight, I would have just not gotten the key at all. But...
It was a year anyway.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things.
Fine.
But there's never going to be a perfect time.
No.
So, but this way we got to spend the day at Knott's, which we wouldn't have otherwise.
And it was, so we got a single day ticket with an add-on combo for all day dining.
Mm-hmm.
And I still say that Knott's is the best value in theme parks in in the Southern California region. Like,
yeah,
they have like talking for me. There's some major thrill rides. They have some pretty good theming.
Yeah.
The like ghost town.
I was gonna say especially ghost town.
The ghost town area is like pretty good theming. They have people walking around in character and stuff. There was a cowboy that was like really infatuated with my height.
Your height and your chops.
Yeah, my chops. Yeah, that's true. Which makes sense.
Yeah,
it works. But no, I had a great time. I actually just filled out a survey for Knott's, and I had to.
I didn't know that.
I had to count out how many rides we went on, and I think I only went on 8.
Oh, you should have told me. I had them all written down.
Yeah. Well, I just counted. And like the ones that
you did some multiple times. Yeah.
I went on Hang Time twice.
Oh, I thought you did that 3 times.
No.
Okay.
Maybe 3 times.
I think 3 times.
Okay, so then I went on 9.
Yeah.
But.
Okay, what was the worst experience you had at Knott's? Well, the berry tails.
Okay, well, so the thing about Knott's, it's really, really good value, but the ops there are not efficient at all.
So if you're going to Knott's, it's a lot cheaper, but you cannot be used to Disney ops.
No, the ride attendants are not. They're just not.
They're not cast members. How about
they're
that?
Not cast members. Yeah. Whatever.
And they're not whatever they call them at Universal.
I don't know what they call them at Universal.
I don't know either. It's something though, because they like play off the. First of all, they make fun of Disney a little bit, and then they also play off the like movie aspect of it. But anyway, I mean, Disney has great ops. Universal is
pretty
generally not bad.
It's pretty good.
And then Knott's is a different category.
Yeah. Whatever. So that's fine. We knew that. But the thing about Knott's is that I noticed really, really a lot this time is they have their version of the DAS Pass. And it seemed like a lot of people were using it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to judge anybody, but like it was huge groups of like teenagers, and I was like, I don't know about
groups
that.
Of like 10, 12 of them. Yeah.
And so that was slowing down things significantly at a lot of rides.
And the way they did it was all like on paper, and it was a whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have their version of like Toy Story Midway Mania there, and we had been on it the last time we went to Knott's.
Yeah, we went on it a few times then, actually. Yeah.
And the line was way shorter than any time we had been on it before, and it took 10 times as long to get on.
It literally took us an hour and a half.
It was brutal.
To do what should have been a 10-minute ride. And it was always like, then you start moving, and you're like, I've waited this long. Like, but for a ride that should not have been. No. I wouldn't even say it's Toy Story. It's Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Anyway, and like,
and I like
and it wasn't like working that well either. Yeah.
That's why I said Buzz Lightyear, because like some of the things were off, and
so that was a little bit too bad.
But we waited less than 10 minutes for Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. So that was good, but like.
But it was kind of almost funny at that point too. After that, yeah.
But Knott's has like these big roller coasters that you don't have at Disney, obviously, or Universal in California, for that matter. So the closest theme park would be Six Flags Magic Mountain, which is a little bit ways out of town. Whereas this is a quick 20-minute Uber from Anaheim. Knott's is kind of right there. And with the all-day dining package, that was $17 on top of your ticket.
That was crazy.
You could eat at several of their quick service restaurants every 90 minutes.
Which is insane.
And the food was quite good.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting a whole heck of a lot. We did run into a bummer where it took like 45 minutes to get our food at the taco place.
Right.
But everywhere else was quick.
Yep.
And enjoyable. We got corn dogs. And,
the corn dogs were actually quite good.
And tacos.
Yeah.
And
you were excited because you never liked corn dogs before, and then you had Disney, and you're like, I want to try corn dogs somewhere else. Do I just like Little Red Wagon corn dogs, or do I like corn dogs?
Yeah, they weren't quite as good as Disney, but they were included in your dining package.
And they were good.
And
I thought they were good.
And it was good.
And then we had these like loaded baked potato things.
Yeah.
Those were good. Like, and we didn't actually eat every 90 minutes, but
Pretty darn close.
we made, that was kind of like one of the fun things we were doing. You were like, I'm going to go hard on the rides to begin with, and then we're going to eat a lot, and we'll kind of like do a ride here or there. And that's kind of how we spent the day.
Yeah. So, because Knott's opens late.
Yeah. And closes late. And closes early.
Closes early. It was only open from 10 till 10, which is one of their longer operating days, actually.
Yeah.
And so we were there quite a bit before opening to get in line and whatever, and we rope dropped and got
Ghost Rider.
Went on Ghost Rider. I think that's the scariest ride you've ever been on.
It is, and I've now done it twice, and it was still terrifying. I don't know if I ever need to do it again. I know I said that last time, but I know I've done it now.
I think
maybe Mickey's Wheel of Death might be scarier.
I think you enjoy it more than Mickey's Wheel of Death.
I do enjoy it more than Mickey's Wheel of Death. There's a couple times where I'm like happy and terrified, but like a lot of times I'm just terrified. Like there's a very low line for thrill rides for me.
Right.
The other thing I was really happy that we did was Jaguar. Because that's been closed every other time that we've been there.
And that's a good, solid family coaster. That
which is my style.
Gives you a whole view around the park. But anyway, so we did Ghost Rider, and then I went on the Hang Time ride, the roller coaster, 3 times, I guess.
You did twice, and then we went and did other things, and then when we came back, you did it again.
I did it twice, and then I went on Accelerator, which wasn't open first thing, so then the line for that was short.
And it shut down while you were still on the ride.
Yes, I got stuck in the break area for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was good.
And then you jump back in Hang Time.
Apparently I am right on the edge of being too tall for it.
Which is funny because you had been on it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were a little concerned.
No, they weren't concerned at all. Like I said.
Oh,
Ops.
okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. Disney might not have let you on
the rules are it's 78 inches, and I'm like right on 78 inches tall. So the most like the reason that is because they don't want your head to be above the headrest.
Right. Safety.
Because it launches you at like 88 miles an hour, and so you would get whiplash.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So yeah, safety.
Is Hang Time your favorite?
Hang Time's really, really good.
But you like Velocicoaster at Universal better than Hang Time?
Well, Velocicoaster's a more complete ride. Like Hang Time is pretty cool. It's very short though.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Velocicoaster is like a full experience. Not that any roller coaster is super long, but
it's a whole thing.
Velocicoaster is probably double or triple what Hang Time is.
That makes sense.
And then like the whole theming involved in it is way better too. But
you know what? You only did Hang Time twice. You're right.
I thought so.
Yeah. We did do Calico River Rapids, which I forgot about, though. We did the Calico Mine, the mine tour kind of thing, the train, which I really liked. And then can we discuss, please, the sketchy school we did?
Well, okay. No, I was just gonna say. So I did those roller coasters, and then we had our first meal.
Oh yes.
At like 11:30 or something like that, and then we basically ate every 90 minutes after that.
Yeah, we also got the drink fill package, drink fill deal kind of thing.
You get a cup or a wristband, and you can get fountain pop.
Yeah.
Every 15 minutes. We didn't do that every 15 minutes.
No, God, no.
It was just like to have something to drink.
Yes, while we were eating the thing. But yes, this is a crazy deal. That first meal, each of the things was $15.
Yeah.
And so we would have paid for it if you had one more thing. Like more than paid for it.
Yeah, if you have two, it's because it's a combo. Like if you buy it separately, I think it's like $40.
Right.
But yeah, no, like it's
crazy good deal.
Really good for families. Like,
yes.
Yeah. It was good.
No, it was good. I said if we went back again, the first time we went, it was during Boysenberry Festival, and I wouldn't get it then because you do like the equivalent of a sip and savor pass instead. Right. But if we ever went back again during like normal time, I totally would do that again. Right? Like, really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really good. So, yes, Knott's Berry I actually really liked Knott's Berry Farm. And now we have a souvenir cup from Knott's Berry Farm.
Another one.
Another one.
I think we have 3 now, because we got a pop one before.
Did we have a Poppin' before?
Yeah.
Oh, and I know we had a coffee one because we kept filling with hot chocolate.
Yeah, we had a thermos one, and we
at Christmas
time because they had a special Christmas one. You could get like hot chocolate in it, and
yeah, which was great.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's funny. I really like it.
Yay!
Speaking of merch, back to Disney. You got a very cool sipper.
I did.
You got the Captain America sipper.
I did, and it is. I think it's the best sipper that they've ever had. Like,
oh, I really like the one we got for Main Street Electrical Light Parade.
Yes, that one was very good. But this, like, the Marvel sippers that they've done have been very good. Like, I have it. Well, I guess it wasn't really a sipper, but it was like a cup holder.
It was the sipper adjacent,
but it was like the Iron Man Infinity Gauntlet.
That's true.
Which is very
really
cool.
Good.
And then they actually had a Doctor Strange like Eye of Agamotto one.
I remember seeing that. That one was really good
like,
too.
Really cool. And then this Captain America is like the full shield, and you can wear it as a backpack, or you can strap it onto your arm with like Velcro straps.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
I wonder if they're gonna do something cool for Fantastic Four.
Oh,
I mean, they will, but like, I wonder what they'll do for Fantastic.
Well, I hope it's crap, because otherwise I'm gonna be mad.
Fair enough. I feel like there's so grumpy. Anything else like that you wanted to say about like Lunar New Year, or I really like that we heard some of the music.
Yeah, they had a Korean a cappella band.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was because I was drinking the sake drink or something, but I don't know. They did a good job.
Yeah,
it was like,
I love festivals at DCA.
It was a cool mix because they did some like spiced up traditional music and then some Disney songs.
They of course did songs from Turning Red.
Yes, they did a Four Town song.
Yeah. And then we also watched World of Color. That was the nighttime that one that we watched. Love World of Color.
Yeah, it's just good.
I love World of Color.
I think I like World of Color more than the fireworks, and people probably get mad at me for that one.
No, you know what? I don't know. I love the fireworks.
I think it's easier to get a good view of World of Color than it is to get a good view of the fireworks, and they're not that much different. So that's why I like World of Color more.
I might agree with you, but I like the thing I like about the fireworks is not actually like standing on Main Street and watching the fireworks, although I love the fireworks in Galaxy's Edge as well. I like catching the fireworks like on Big Thunder or on Casey Jr.
Just having it going off. Like, I don't mind the fireworks going off.
I like that.
As a show, I think World of Color is a little better. I wish Fantasmic had an easier walk up.
Yeah.
Where you didn't have to do the dining package
or
go
wait
like
for 2 hours.
Or wait for 2 hours. Like it's just the way where they do Fantasmic in Disneyland is probably too small, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, in Disney World, they have a whole amphitheater and a special lake where they do it.
Right.
Which is good because they're getting rid of the Rivers of America in Disney World.
If they did that in Disneyland, there'd be riots. I'm pretty sure. I like Fantasmic, but I am 100% convinced you need to with a dining package. And I love World of Color. Like, I really, really liked World of Color. I was and if you asked me if I wanted to stand for and wait for fireworks, or if I want to stand in like the area for World of Color, I'm gonna pick World of Color.
And here's the thing. Wow, I don't super recommend this, but we got the virtual queue for the first showing.
Yes.
And we were on Guardians or something, and
I'm sure it was Guardians.
We were pushing the time.
Yeah.
As we do when it comes to rides.
It's true.
Not the airport. We don't push the time when it comes to airport.
No. But, we're actually like very cognizant of that.
And so we were like there like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes before it started, and like you're supposed to check in with your virtual queue at like 15 minutes at the latest, and like maybe it wasn't like the super busiest night, but we just kind of walked in and stood there.
You had it up on your phone, but they just were like waving everyone in.
So like if you really want to watch it, you could just like have your phone open and look like you know what you're doing. Maybe. You might get turned away.
But you might luck out. Like, we definitely...
There was lots of room. So.
There was tons of room. And like you said, if it was not a busy night for World of Color, The other thing is I've heard the later show. We didn't want to do that because we were jumping back over to Disneyland. But
if you're just doing DCA and don't have Park Hopper, do the later show. It'll be less busy, and you can do rides up until that. So
exactly,
because like they do it when the park closes.
Yeah, exactly.
The second show.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that totally would have worked. We did not need the pass at that point.
No one looked at the pass
No.
and whatever.
But I mean, only play that game if you're willing to be turned away.
Yeah. And plus I'm tall, so I want to kind of hang back anyways.
Yeah, no, that's true. But it's tough because you always want to hang back because you feel bad about that, but you always kind of like push me towards the front because I'm so short. But I'm not shorter than the kids, so it's fine. World of Color, though, was great. Lunar New Year was good. I still say Food and Wine is my favorite. I like Pixar Fest more than a lot of, just as far as the food festivals and stuff like that go.
I think Pixar Fest was my second favorite.
I think so too. I really like the holiday one, but when we went the holiday, like the Christmas stuff, I was more focused on Disneyland. So like it was cool to go eat all the food and stuff like that, and that was still a lot of fun. But like,
it was fine.
It was like, that wasn't my... that didn't stand out to me. I really like Food and Wine, and
you don't really need a food festival over Christmas.
I agree. There's enough like seasonal foods and stuff.
Yeah, they could just have seasonal foods at restaurants, but
yeah, don't get me wrong. Love the mac and cheese fest. But I think that's the order for me too. Between the holiday festival and Lunar New Year, what do you think?
Lunar New Year was probably a little better. Just I think they had better drinks. Like there was a lot of
that's true
cinnamony garbage over
which
the holidays.
I like, but yeah, I know you don't.
But
I also think it's something different.
Yeah, no, I I like Lunar New Year fine. I think we were at when we ended up going was a down year for it.
Yes, I agree. But like in general, like I love the costumes. We did see the cavalcade, we saw the whole parade twice actually.
Yeah, we ended up seeing it twice.
Because we ended
up
seeing.
Very long.
No, it's not. But we were in the outdoor area of the Guardians queue when it like comes out of there.
Yeah.
And so we saw it again. It was great.
They sure stunted for all the people in line too.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah, they really had fun with that. But yeah, I think it was really good. It was really busy, but it was good. What did you think about having magic keys being at Disneyland as a magic key holder?
You do, if you're gonna go multiple times in a year, even if you're a foreigner like we are.
Yeah.
It is worth it because of all the discounts, and especially if you're buying merch and food
like
and
we
stuff,
do
and stuff like that. And some of the little perks that we got were kind of cool, and it was nice being able to like land in the afternoon, fly in, land in the afternoon, and then just go, and not worry about it, and then like go for a couple hours on the day you leave. Like you wouldn't be able to do that if you're just buying like a regular day pass.
Of course,
you wouldn't buy a day ticket to go for the morning
for 2 hours or whatever.
Fly. So those little benefits were fun to have. To experience.
I think it was fun, and we purposely we'd plan our days around things like that. Even in August when we were there for a longer period of time, like the one day, it was when your parents were coming down, and we had like a pool day. And then we were meeting them for storytellers, and then you and I jumped over and we just did Pirates in Haunted Mansion. And, like, you would never do that in any other situation.
Exactly.
But we were able to get reservations for that day, and we're like, why not? Let's just go. Like, it was, I loved having the discount. Loved having the little scanny thing. It was really fun. There were a couple things that happened, like, personally this year where we're like, had we known this year was probably not the best year to do it, but at the same time, like, next year wouldn't be a good, like... Well,
no, we wouldn't... Politically, we're not
going to Disney again for a while.
Nothing against Americans themselves, except some of them, but
that's true for everyone.
The political climate right now is not
it's not conducive to travel to the States right now. That being said, Disney is like a happy little bubble, Disneyland, but and I mean, when we bought tickets, January 2025, we did not really foresee that.
Nah.
Right? So, So things like that. So it was really cool. It was something we said we were going to do once, and, you know, just to see what it was like. And we did that. I was really happy we did it. It was fun to be, like, at Disney that much.
And now my feet need to rest.
That's fine. Any other final thoughts about Disney in February?
Well, yeah, I don't know. February was a long time ago.
Well, that's true. This whirlwind trip. I loved the feeling of, like, going to Disneyland for a long weekend. And change, like we added. But
yeah, we did that before, too.
I know. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That was one of my favorite things. I'm going to miss it.
I'm ready to go other places.
Yeah, I'm okay doing that, but I'm going to miss going before you will. I know. Especially because it'll be a few years now. But, yeah, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going other places and maybe other Disney parks.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too.
I think we've explored the depths and widths of the Disneyland Resort quite well.
Yep. I'm good with that. I will want to go back, but, like, I'm good. I really am looking forward to exploring other Disney parks.
Quite some time.
Yeah, no, I want to, they're especially, like, overseas parks.
Yeah, overseas parks. Yeah. I do want to go to Disney World
Me
eventually,
too.
but
again, same deal. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but there's some other really cool parks around the world that I think it's a great opportunity to explore after we do some other traveling.
Lots of other traveling.
Yeah. So anyway, that's really exciting. Thanks for doing Magic Keys with me for a year.
Oh, you're welcome. My feet still hurt.
They do not. Your feet do not have that.
That's the episode title.
My feet still hurt.
My feet still hurt.
The other thing that was really cool because it was so busy this time, we didn't always get lightning lanes, is we did things like stand and watch the Dapper Dans.
Yeah. Standing and watching the Dapper Dans means you're on your feet, though.
Watching the Dapper Dans, watching the lights come on in Cars Land, like those little things, we did a lot of, and that was really cool.
So yeah, you were asking about the Magic Keys and stuff.
Yeah,
that was the one, I guess, side benefit to having gone so often through the year. You're not as pressed to go and
True.
Get on rides. Like our first couple of trips to Disney.
Yeah.
So you can stop and smell the Dapper Dans, or I guess the flowers.
Yeah, if you have a rope drop plan and it doesn't work out because the ride is down, you don't really care that much.
Right.
Or if you're walking down in the Dapper Dans, start singing, you're like, hold up, we gotta stand and watch the Dapper Dans. Like, things like that. Or when you look at the time and you're like, isn't sunset gonna happen in 15 minutes? Let's head over to Cars Land. Like, you get to do more of that kind of stuff, which is really cool.
And it was nice getting a little bit of sun and
that was lovely.
20 degrees Celsius.
We left
loveliness.
-30 Celsius.
Yeah, it was literally a 50-degree Celsius swing.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
For us, so that was
lovely.
It was nice.
Yeah. So that's our show this week. Thank you, Emil, who's responsible for the custom theme song you heard at the top of the show. You can find a link to his work at our website, disneya.wixsite.com/podcast. That's also where you can find a link to our social media accounts and our email. You can find Disney A episodes on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms. So if you've rated or reviewed our podcast, thank you. And if you haven't yet, please do. If you know someone who might like listening to us, please be sure to recommend Disney A as well. Next episode, we are going to talk about food and wine, which we're missing this year.
I like food and also wine.
I do too. You never used to like wine.
Yeah, well.
So I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney A.
My feet still hurt.
No, they do not.